The trajectory of Victor Rocha from plant pathology to forensic science to creating neurofarms. How he fusioned the natural medicinal properties of plants with the latest biometric technologies for a better quality of life. It starts at age 12 when he becomes a ham radio operator in the Mexicali Valley, a harsh desert border valley. There he enrolls as a volunteer for search and rescue teams. This will change his life forever. He is first-hand witness the drama and death that people undergo to reach the United States for a better life. His academic education as an agronomist and plant pathologist will intersect with his mission. How his knowledge of plants and his experience in the rescue and medical assistance to the survivors would be the cornerstones of the future neurofarms. Pioneering natural medicine and biometric identification. His academic and passion to provide rescue help and first responder activities led Victor in a very young age to become a rescue volunteer. That impacted his life and dedicated his career to help identify victims and help their remains to be returned to their loved ones. He studied in different universities in Mexico and the United States, received an offer for a scholarship to a PhD in plant pathology in UC Davis, but declined. His spirit was leading him to be pragmatic. While attending CSU Fresno, he worked his way by working as a bilingual emergency dispatcher. There he started analyzing better way to respond to emergencies. His inquisitive mind would lead him to accepting a job at a US defense contractor where medical and vital sign data transmissions were being developed. The science of biometrics had entered his life. Innovator in natural medicine and biometric science, his insights helped advance the way and efficiency of how vital biometric data can be transmitted in real time from the field to a medical center. With the implementation of GPS, allowed him to seed an idea that would flourish later in his life cycle, the biomatrix concept. A digital signature of all your biometric data, not just fingerprints or voice or DNA, but also your energetic signature. While he was professionally creating this, a tragedy was unraveling at home. While he was in Brazil implementing biometric technologies, his daughter Priscilla suffered terminal renal failure, losing both kidney organs due to a misdiagnosis. This sets a new chapter of their lives. His wife Edelmira became his new research partner. Moreover, his mother Velia, a senior epilepsy patient, was entering a terminal stage. With Edelmira's full support, he retired from his forensic activities and dedicated themselves solely to trying to find a natural way to alleviate their condition. This moment, Neurofarms was born. Discover the origins and vision behind Neurofarms, a pioneer in holistic plant energization for neurochemistry response. The Neurofarms was the concept name that he created because they were trying to grow neurons in order to provide a better outcome for his mother and to try to find a way to regenerate the nephrons, which are the cells of the kidneys on Priscilla. The name had a meaning, but it needed an image. It had to capture the fusion of the brain, the mind, and the plant dot. The logo would express the three-body principle of body, soul, and spirit. The Neurofarms logo had to show what we were trying to achieve. The fusion of the mind with the plant through the neurons expressing homeostasis in the human body. Something crucial to their research. In the heart of Baja California, Victor and Edelmira began what has been at the forefront of integrating natural medicine with cutting-edge biometric identification technologies. The regulatory and legal framework to conduct their research was non-existent and thus prohibited. Undeterred, they initiated their research in San Diego, California, where newly passed laws regarding natural research had been enacted. The organization brand and idea had been defined. He then, for legal reasons with the federal authorities, registered his operation as Holistic Neurosciences LLC, which focuses on developing plant-based pharmacologics as safer and more affordable options compared to traditional pharmaceuticals. All plants used on their research have an LD50 index of more than 5,000 milligrams per kilo of body weight, which means that a 80 kilograms person would need to ingest at once around 400 kilograms of each plant used. Practically impossible to achieve. The transition from a subject matter expert in criminal biometrics to researcher in plant chemistry and plant medicine was full of sorrow and rejection from many. It seemed a crazy decision, but the need to find a way for his loved ones was his only priority. Victor and Edelmira poured all their resources to build a laboratory with the equipment they would require to achieve their vision. The first couple of years were to solidify the concept and research in all the available herbalaria worldwide. In the case of Velia, his mother was most prevalent. An epileptic patient, due to a medical malpractice, was in constant seizure and under a very toxic regimen of medications. Her liver and kidneys were taking damage. After finding 12 specific varieties of plants and flowers, they could produce a formula that was administered to Velia. The cessation of seizures as well as the reduction in barbiturates was extraordinarily remarkable. They had made an important milestone. Victor Rocha began searching for ways to share these important findings. Initially, he started looking for people in need locally through social organizations. None of them were allowed to support their quest. His determination led him to drive evening as an Uber driver, parking outside hospitals, providing transportation to the public that required. On their trajectory to their destination, he would establish conversation with the passengers, and if candidate to a natural process, he would offer his help. More and more people started benefiting. Victor began receiving requests to help those that the medical institutional systems refer as to terminally ill or with neurodegenerative conditions. Those people that were in search for an alternative to have a better quality of life. The promising results required a formal structure to be valid scientific proof and data. Neurofarms needed to grow. A strike of faith happened when a member of a group in Tijuana, Mexico, composed by doctors, lawyers, and activists, asked Neurofarms to be part of a non-profit group with the only goal to promote natural medicine. The groundwork to a new height had been reached. Collaboration with Fundación Loto Rojo, an impactful partnership that drove community change. A campaign to ring the attention of interested public. The main guidelines of the foundation was to generate educational information and research of plants, mushrooms, lichens. Victor and Edelmira knew from experience that it was not the sole answer. They were leveraging agents because of their homeostatic effects. Fundación Loto Rojo hace advocating for alternative therapies. Neurofarms and Loto Rojo started a clinical trial. Victor planned the strategy to be able to present it to any authority. Most of the people that reach Fundación Loto Rojo are from all ages and from all walks of life. From a wealthy mother with a sick child to a ranch hand with no schooling, they were all brother on the struggle to have a better quality of life when faced with a terminal condition. In partnership with Fundación Loto Rojo AC, Neurofarms was instrumental in providing clinical trial therapies using natural substances for patients with conditions such as epilepsy, Parkinson's, cancer, leukemia, autism, and diabetes. Legislative advocacy in Baja California. The efforts to change the legislature. The research, work, case studies, and results were documented, and in 2019 he presented himself along 30 other patients and members of Loto Rojo in the 5th Federal Court in Tijuana with a class action suit against the government for human rights violations. A historical precedent had been established. This was the first time in Mexico's history that a collective group of terminal patients, all deemed terminal by the Social Security Administration, demanding a safe access to natural formulas that were proven to make a significant improvement in the quality of life. The health authorities in disbelief denied the findings and results. The court declared that no one can violate the freedom of choice of a citizen of what to put in their bodies, even more so when they show an improvement in the lives of sick children, enshrined in the Mexican Constitution, and on every international human rights treaty, Mexico is a signatory. A new phase in Victor and Edelmira's journey has started. The federal courts had published, along with its ruling, that 1. The Federal Social Security Administration must purchase the formulation from Neurofarms. 2. To register them in the National Medical Library. 3. Provide their formulation to the patients free of charge. And 4. The doctors in the Social Security Hospital were to offer this complementary alternative protocol to anyone who would choose to accept. With no rules and regulations in the country, they started advocating for natural medicine legislation in a country where its political system systematically denies the right to safe access while allowing pharmaceutical interests to impose their own regulations. The Rocha's efforts extended to the legislative arena, where he has engaged with the Health Commission of Baja California's Congress to discuss the medical use of plants, leading to significant legal advancements and a struggle with the established authorities in the region which have delayed the court orders for years. Victor suddenly fell ill and was rushed to Sharpe's Medical Center, where he was performed an emergency surgery. At that moment, we was notified that he had stage 4 renal cell carcinoma. A full cycle of life was unraveling in front of his eyes. All his work, research, academic studies, his research and his efforts with others seemed like the school of the universe had prepared him to face his own test of life. Edelmira, the mother, wife and partner in research, became now with caring for Priscilla, a terminal renal transplant patient, Victor, her husband, with terminal renal cell carcinoma, and in charge of the laboratory that needed to keep producing the Neurofarms natural protocol for all of the other patients, members of the association. And on top of it, to manage a household. Most human beings would probably have a mental and physical collapse under that pressure. Her love for them and for what this cause matters gave her the fortitude and strength to lead forward relentlessly. Victor and Edelmira applied all the principles that he had been researching and advocating for the use of galvanometric acoustic resonance in order to locate and pinpoint where the use of energy, to focus that into generating a formula of numerous plant extracts that would resonate with frequency, achieving higher bioavailability and having an agonistic effect with the conventional treatments. And its profound significance in holistic complementary treatments, acting together in a harmonious interaction, doubling the chance to have a better recovery. On their research, they became in contact with Russian technology from the Altai Republic Scientific University, where a millennial knowledge was being fusioned with the principles of Ayurveda, traditional Chinese medicine and Korean principle of Sujok, where energy is mapped and measured through the nerve termination in hand and feet. The galvanometric acoustic resonance technology was able to measure the electric impulses in each of these nerve meridians. Victor's idea was to fusion these advancements from Russia, the natural medicine principles of these ancient cultures, and create a unique energetic signature that could be used to resonate with the natural compounds that he was outsourcing from every part of the world. Innovations in biometric matrix. The key milestone Victor was trying to reach was the idea of providing a unique resonating frequency that will allow natural compounds to be more bioavailable and more efficient in its action. He applied his research and his established protocol to himself, spoke with the oncologist and discussed the approach. His decision was made and the team of doctors was notified, who agreed that Victor had the choice to do it. Exploring how natural compounds interact with biometric signals to enhance health insights. The biometric matrix of energy was the base to have a formula of natural compounds to resonate with his body. From that, they searched the different plants around the world that would complement cannabis in the desired action. His principle is that all compounds have to have an agonistic effect, a synergistic concerto of plants, standard medicine, and the body. The fusion between both worlds, that one of technology and biometrics and the plant world, seemed to Victor a full circle of his life, in which he could apply all his knowledge as an agronomist and as an expert in biometrics. The fusion was energy and the way we can read it and harness it. It all is reduced to that energy environment in which a biochemical reaction occurs. Rocha's pioneering work seeks to understand how natural compounds influence the body's electrical fields and loads, potentially leading to personalized treatments and advanced biometric applications. The journey in which he himself became his own case study proved that their work and effort, Victor and Edelmira together, had proven what all medical prognosis were wrong. In a period of 120 days, had a remission of 90% of the more than 80 tumors in his body. In order to make it public, they published and registered their research. Legally, the Mexican Health Ministry is forced to accept what they have been delaying for years. Nevertheless, Victor cannot stop. His life and many others depend on it. Victor and Edelmira keep researching and pushing for new ways to have integral medicine available to all. Through his multifaceted initiatives, Victor and Edelmira continue to bridge the gap between natural medicine and biometric technology, paving the way for a future where health and security are harmoniously intertwined. Imagine what Victor and Edelmira can achieve if they have help. All of these years, all activities, research, hunting for plants, pharmaceutical equipment, laboratory space, and so on, has been solely provided by them and family members. The moment to grow and provide more help to others with their own struggle is here. A non-profit 503c foundation has been created to be able to receive tax-deductible donations to expand the reach to people in need. This entity is named Terminal Citizens AC. The name says it all. Terminal Citizens AC, where the only option is to move forward. Thank you very much for your time. If you have interest in knowing the plants and testimonials, please contact us. May God give you health.